Oh, hi, everybody. It's Thursday night, so we're here.
Yeah.
Well, more specifically, Wit's here, Kirk is back, and the Admiral is here too. Now,
welcome, viewers, to the reason why television is dying.
I don't know. I would honestly say welcome to the reason why television is still able to hold on, because the content that people like us put out is so garbage.
And tonight is absolutely no exception.
This shit is why William Shatner says he won't go on podcasts.
I can't say I blame him. So
it's true. I after having started streaming with you lovely folks, I actually signed up for 2 different TV programs.
What?
I thought you was going to say you signed up for counseling.
I thought you were going to say that you've been on podcasts.
I've only been on one podcast.
Signed up for TV programs, I thought that was like a class you were taking.
Oh, no.
All right, so for...
Go ahead.
It turns out we don't communicate very well.
So for those of you who've been watching over here for the last few weeks, we've been on Wit's channel doing the Nonary games, or 999, or whatever name you'd like to assign it.
And we need a break.
Yeah, we're taking a little break from that this week, and I have agreed to do a little one-shot tonight. Originally, it was going to be...
wasn't it.
Yeah, originally it was going to be Nostalgia, but I had a considerable amount of trouble creating an account, which they wanted and would not let me in without it, and it refused to hold up long enough for me to create an account.
They just knew better. They didn't want to be on the show.
That's fair. That's fair, too.
This could be why the reviews of the service are so mixed.
Yeah.
Sounds like their loss. They don't get to...
Yeah, our free advertising of all of our viewers.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go pop out chat and see if anything happens. Last time we streamed, we got nada.
Yeah, so instead we're going to play this little game called Prompt, which I know virtually nothing about except for the fact that it looks like a DOS game, and that was plenty fucking enough for me. So off-screen...
It takes very little.
So off-screen I called for votes on what color we would like to use for this game. And thus far I have gotten a vote for Pure Snow, a vote for Bloodstained, and a vote for Atomic Fallout. Admiral, since you were not here for that, I'm going to display those colors now, and I would like your vote, please. So here is Pure Snow.
Are you discounting your own vote?
Yeah, I'm not counting my own vote. I'm just going to pick out of whatever gets vote. Unless... Anyway. Pure Snow, Goldenrod, Amber, Dusk, Bloodstained, Atomic Fallout.
Atomic Fallout.
Atomic Fallout did indeed get a vote. That's 2 votes Atomic Fallout. That's what we're doing.
I had a suspicion.
Alright.
Really now.
Well, I mean, I know that Atomic Fallout is very on-brand for you.
Yeah, but that's not what I think.
But I also know that you're not against getting your hands dirty in the good old-fashioned, like, let's spray some blood around. So I was curious to see what you would be in the mood for tonight.
I picked the green because it looks kind of like the Matrix screens.
Yeah.
That was one of the other reasons that Kirk and I liked it, is that it reminded us of the real old-style monitor back when we were kids.
Yeah, that's why I picked it.
Yep. So, knowing absolutely nothing else about this game, I don't have a clue what to expect. Yay, blind.
I believe the Steam page said it's a platformer and it's very hard.
I deliberately did not read the page. I simply grabbed the link and posted it to you guys.
That's what the link said, to be honest. I also didn't read the page, but that is what they put in their first 2 sentences.
I didn't even read that. Because I wanted no knowledge at all.
Yeah, well, I can't even read, so that's how clean I am.
Ah, cool.
Oh yeah, well I'm blind.
Yo, what up? My name is Jared, I'm 19, and I never learned how to fucking read.
What'd you say? I can't hear you.
Who are you? I don't even know where I am right now.
We're at a tutorial. And we love tutorials around here, don't we?
I can take them or leave them.
Because as it happens, we can't do nothing the fuck else right now, so here we go. Oh, the typical coder's introduction. Hello, world.
I learned how to
Missing
do
a
that,
comma, but
and I think that's as far as I ever got. Oh, I didn't learn how to put a comma in it.
oh, you just press a comma, but it's not
It's
Not a
not
challenge.
it's not an operator. It doesn't do a thing.
Would anybody like to read
Oh.
I guess
the?
not if it's in the text string.
Would anybody like to read the direction?
Reach the exit in each level to advance. Use A and D or left and right. Jump! Well, that doesn't bode well.
Is this you jumping?
Yep.
I
Oh, you can double jump.
So when are we sending him to the NBA?
That boy's got hot. Whoop! When he proves to me that he's doing all of these on purpose and not occasionally fucking them up. Bring keys to the exit to unlock secrets.
So the key goes back where it was. Okay.
That is worth learning. You can and should double jump. It does seem to have aftertouch. Spikes will kill you. That's what we're calling spikes? That's just a different pixel. I don't like that. Can you run on the instructions? Okay, no, I was hoping.
Also, left shift doesn't, or right shift rather, does not work.
Oh, that is interesting. Oh, boy. Boy, I didn't charge a lot of money for this.
I may already be having internet trouble.
Oh no.
Like, I can see you all, but like, I'm trying to download a fucking update for this program I use for my avatar. It's got like max of 26 kilobytes a second.
Is the video choppy for you?
It's a little more pixelated than you'd think it should be. But the motion is fairly smooth.
Okay. Must be me then. Is there
What
is
if
the
I
lesson
don't-
here that like you just can't get it?
I will not be Kobayashi Maru'd on the first level.
Do you need to approach it from the other side somehow?
I would assume
No,
not.
I mean like go. No, you probably had it right the first time. Unless getting the key. Ooh!
Oh!
Yeah, but here's
I'll be honest, I
the...
didn't think you were gonna do it.
Then we would have sat here all night. This is Alpha we're talking about.
Excellent.
Man, I think we should do the tutorial again.
Why? You think I can do
Tutorial's the
better?
best part.
You think I can do better?
Oh, I'm sure you could do better.
I will be right back.
You were rocking this.
Whoops.
Here it is.
Okay, back.
Ah.
give us, actually.
Oh.
I mean, you're already going to be doing better because you didn't hit T 6,000 times.
That's true.
What's that about T?
T is
If
the
you hit
reset
T,
button,
Onion crumpets.
and I held
It's
it,
like the reset button.
and I held it down for like 2 days. So
Which is why you had 63.
Fuck.
No! 63 deaths. Deaths?
Debs.
if I can't
Yeah.
figure out how I pulled this off,
You get to the top of Oh, there you go.
Yay.
much better.
Oh, this piece of shit finally shows up.
Happy to see you too, Admiral.
Fuck off.
You're late as always, so you missed the beginning and the intro.
I'll catch it in VOD. As
We'll
should
do it
all
in
of our valued
post.
customers.
Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be trying to pay attention.
Welcome, viewers, to the court evidence that will be submitted when I murder this man in D.C.
Yeah, I will be forced to testify against you. It's nothing personal.
I get it. That's assuming they ever find the body.
I think you can still have a murder trial without a body. It's just a little harder to get a conviction.
Hmm.
This is like bite-sized retro Super Meat Boy.
Here's the thing is that all I have to do is submit the videos of him saying literally anything usually, and I will get off easy.
I
I will
would.
admit that sometimes...
Justified manslaughter.
Well, what if some of us
I-
want to get off the hard way?
Isn't that why you picked this game? Actually, that's a good question. If you literally didn't read any words in the Steam page, how did you even hear about it?
I was gifted this by my brother, actually. He,
Ah,
he thought
has
I would
he played
enjoy it. Probably not. This isn't his kind of game. But he knows what my kind of game is, so...
One was suspiciously easy.
Those little flashy things are quote-unquote spikes.
Yeah.
I thought it was fire.
That would make more sense, but no, that's not what they chose to call it.
They're muffins. Fire muffins.
What is this, Neopets?
Close enough.
There is a
I-
there is an item in Neopets, at least that I know, called a water muffin,
Oh.
which, at least in my mind, suggests the existence of a fire muffin.
What if this is a muffin made with water instead of milk?
The
Hmm.
picture was just water in the shape of a muffin.
Oh, I see.
I am somehow more distressed by your idea than the actual.
I'm not even sure that there is milk in muffins. It might just be like an egg
You
and flour type of
fool!
I,
You missed the bonus one!
yeah, I know.
I have to admit, I have a sneaking suspicion that all the bonus one gets you is more levels. And
That's a-
I don't know about you, but I'm not so charmed by the graphics that what I require are more levels.
I would bet a single US dollar that, there are options in the graphic settings once you, do more, that are more or less retro than this.
Well, we were allowed to choose the color, and we chose green.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, the people that were allowed to choose the color were the people that got here on time.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Oh, you got it. I was trying to like make fun of it, of like, well, all it's gonna give you are more levels, but then I realized like, it's not like it's gonna have an art book, you know? What else am I expecting?
I would be quite happy if it did have an art book, though.
That would be fairly funny.
Oh,
You bastard!
You did
Oh.
it again.
yeah, so I did. My dumbass thought that that was a key.
You,
Twice.
I think, could choose specific levels.
I could, but what's the fun in that?
Getting through this? Completionism? Efficient completionism?
It does not take that long, and it's giving me a great deal of practice. Now, I really wish these level
Sure,
titles would
getting
get the
much better.
hell out of my way.
Yeah, when they start you up in the corner and you need to be able to see, I can realize how that might get frustrating.
Looks like the monitor is coffee stained.
Huh.
Yeah, if that is supposed to be monitor S, what has happened to it to cause it to look kind of cracked like that? Textured.
Apparently,
Blow
my
up in the
Command
black?
Conquer streams got featured on some other Command Conquer site.
Oh,
Really?
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay,
How big is the site?
alright. I need to get to the shining one.
I will be right back.
Alright.
After these messages, I'll be right back.
And then, yeah.
That did it.
Yeah!
There we go. Now then.
Oh
Me.
yeah.
I like it medium.
Ha. Yeah. Ha.
I like my difficulty like my brother likes his steak.
What a tortured
You
thing.
care to finish that?
Medium.
Ah, damn it.
What a tortured joke for nobody.
The
That
joke
was needlessly cruel to jokes.
the joke is unfinished though.
I mean, I told the punchline first, and he made up a setup for it. He just did the Jeopardy of bad jokes.
Did you say Jeopardy?
Oh.
Did you just say Jeopardy?
Should I? Is that the secret word? Do I win $100? Is Groucho Marx gonna come out and like a duck will fly down?
Well, no. Just that I very much enjoy Jeopardy.
What? What?
How am I gonna do this?
I think that is the correct option. You just need to let it ride a little longer before you double jump. Go betwixt them.
But it feels bad.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that flipping me off?
Well done.
Thank you.
That was actually very nice. Oh, no thank you. It's Flappy Bird is what
boy.
it is.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
Oh,
It is really satisfying when you get destroyed by spikes.
it's a
I
good
love that you fall to
visual
pieces.
effect.
Yeah.
How would you like to be? Fuck it.
I'm excited to hear back from the Admiral with news that her newfound attention.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, she's been working really hard to get up and running, and I know it's something that she cares a lot about.
Oh, sure, I couldn't play that stupid platform game this well. The one with the placements and all that. What was
The
that
one
called?
with the who?
The game where you place the platforms and try to catch the
Oh, Jesus. No, thank you.
Fortnite?
No, it was a game that he streamed with Kuro. And it was deceptively simple. You had 2 platforms that you could place anywhere on the screen. And blocks would fall. And you had to catch them before they hit the bottom. And they would sit on your platform and like have a little timer. And then they would disappear and you like were finished dealing with that block. And every time you clicked, it would cycle through your 2 platforms. So you could lock them. So you could have one that would take it out of the cycle of back and forth between your 2 platforms.
Yeah.
And you could only let 3 blocks drop per level. And so it was like a time management of which ones needed more time to work through their little timer before they were taken care of. It was incredibly hard. And that was a lot of the gameplay of the game was this. And it started out hard and it only got harder. And they kind of soft-locked themselves because Rissa was I took a turn on it, Rissa did it, they switched streams so Alpha could try it. It was a little too hard, and I think something about it on the back end needed to have been adjusted, at least in the beginning. It started out so punishing. I don't remember
how
the
did
name
you
of
end
the
up
game,
soft
though.
blocking?
What,
How did you end up soft blocking?
Just because like they couldn't get to the rest of the plot of the game because they were supposed to be able to get through this bit.
Oh, I see. It wasn't really soft blocked.
It was the softest of locks, but it was locked.
the fuzzy handcuffs of soft blocking.
What is soft blocking?
What is soft locking?
Correct.
Essentially you play the game in such a way that you box yourself into a corner.
That it can no longer be beaten. Some adventure games would let you do. The difference between soft and hard, I think, is that a hard lock is that like.
Hey, wait. Get more levels. Sorry. I don't-
The game is now broken and you can't do anything. I think that's a hard lock.
Okay.
A soft lock is, I believe, where you just can't win.
I see. I've
Well,
heard
it's
that.
not
Fuck up now.
Of the old adventure games, like the old point and clicks, the really punishing ones, if you hadn't gotten the correct items, like from earlier in the game, you wouldn't be able to win or wouldn't be able to get the good ending or whatever, and would not have a mechanic for letting you revisit places. That would be a soft lock.
Oh, Sierra
see.
was absolutely notorious for that.
Yeah.
If you've ever played anything like Space Quest, Police Quest, King's Quest, shit.
You would just have to start over.
I've heard Deus Ex, like a criticism of the most recent Deus Ex game is that it's like built so that you can level up whatever you want to, but some of them are wrong.
Oh,
You'll end
yeah,
up in a
there's...
place where like you
yeah.
cannot defeat bosses.
If you do a ton of stealth, there's a boss that stealth doesn't work on. And they,
Which
I
game?
believe, corrected that in the remaster.
Deus Ex.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they did.
They added some hackable turrets, so you would be able to do damage to that boss if you were not spec'd to be doing high damage yourself or had low defense.
I was doing a non-lethal playthrough, and when I got to that boss, I was very distressed because A, I was a stealth character, and B, I was a non-lethal character, and you are locked in a single server room with this woman, and you have to kill her.
Now, when
I
you
don't have that
talk about-
problem.
when you talk about a non-lethal run, is that presented to you as an option, or is that a self-imposed restriction?
It is a self-imposed restriction, but you get an achievement for doing it.
Wait,
do they just not
how is it
count
even
that
possible?
lady?
So the achievement doesn't count bosses because you are obligated to kill the bosses.
Ah.
I see.
Shit.
I think
But
they
the-
added. I think they added stuff that like takes them out for you, so it doesn't technically count as you. But I always thought that was bullshit.
Oh.
Was that something that could have also been added in the remaster?
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
It's like saying, this isn't a hit and run, my car did it.
Yeah.
Guns don't kill people. Wait, yes they do.
And I mean, he's right because it's kind of. It doesn't match up with how some of the NPCs and kind of the narrative itself is like, well, you don't have to kill anybody. You could just figure out a different way of doing it. And once they established that that message was bullshit, I just fucking killed her off. No, like,
Ah,
fuck it. Besides, you don't give me all these shiny mods for future space weapons. I'm going to fucking use them.
Yeah, that is also on brand. Admiral, tell us more about your little feature.
yeah.
We're all very excited for you to be picked up and noticed by other members of the CNC.
I will send you the link here. I think I'm like the very first one on there, although they don't have icons right now because these are all old streams that's showing.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna do a dramatic reading of the
Excited
URL.
Good luck, I guess.
I don't know, something has to happen on this stream other than watching a rectangle go to a bus stop or whatever.
Yeah, really. Let's hear some excitement.
Admittedly, it's a very athletic rectangle.
Well, I posted the link in Whisper Squad.
Whisper Squad, great. Well, okay, fine. https://www.redalertpros, as in professionals, not poetry, .com/streams, as in the body of water. Yeah, you've been added, so there's a collection of streamers, a large collection of streamers. Is this all individual streamers or individual streams? Because there's pages and pages of these.
I think these are individual streams since it's using a title I used Monday, actually.
Yeah, it looks like it's an aggregator. Yeah, I recognized the title. That was one of the streams I was able to sit in for. From the Twitch page. And, anybody who streams under the Command & Conquer Red Alert heading on Twitch gets their stream posted there. And it's a link to an embedded Twitch video. That is pretty exciting. That way, anyone who follows this website will be able to see any Twitch streamers they want. And at the moment, I can't get the embed to load, but it also shows in the top right corner your most recent video, which I believe is what you just finished streaming.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting too.
That is
Yeah.
pretty great.
I
Congratulations.
figured out this was happening because I went and looked at channel analytics and it said it had like 4% traffic from there.
Oh, cool.
4% is very small, though. Four
Did
Direct
you have
is
a
very
bunch of yours tonight?
What?
Oh, how many people viewed that video total in order to get 4%?
Let me see. It doesn't give me an
25
exact
people
number.
total, and one of them came from that website.
Would that work? I don't think I'm gonna do that math.
I ain't going either. Most of it's just direct.
You guys want to know something else?
About what?
I just tested my keyboard up against what I'm looking at here. The delay
Is
is
there a lag?
the delay is about 1/6 of a second. So
Oh,
I'm,
because you can see the timer.
Get fucked, I guess.
If it's always 1/6 of a second, then you can learn to adjust.
that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Use by location. United States, 56%. Netherlands, 13%. United Kingdom, 7%. Germany, 4%. France, 3%. Canada, 2%.
Damn,
1%.
Is that your whole channel
Why
or
the
an
last
individual
one?
video?
It's the whole channel over a 3-day span.
Shit.
Well, that's pretty healthy.
fact-
Views from Twitch, 33% followers, 29% searches, 19% browse page, 10%
Oh,
other.
people are searching for you. That's cool.
I hate puzzles where I have to do the same thing right 9, 10
I
times
think
in a row.
based on who a couple of the people that I don't actually know in person that have come to regularly watch the streams, I think there's some people searching for Command and Conquer content.
And
that makes
sometimes
sense.
I'll go to find a VOD or something, and it won't be. I hate Twitch in that you can't just get a list of all the channels that you follow. It's really trying to shove you towards live stuff.
Yeah.
So if they haven't been live in the past few hours, they're taken off your list in favor of people who broadcast more recently. So I may have searched for you trying to get back to your channel at all so I can watch something on demand.
In the future, it would just be easier to go to, which channel I put that out there.
You kind of trailed off at the end. Can you say that again?
Just go to CFC, go to announcements, and it's just got a link for my Twitch right there.
Oh, through Discord. Yeah, that's true. But that doesn't help me with when I want to watch, like, people who I'm not in the Discord for. This is a greater complaint with Twitch as a platform, not just trying to find your VODs. But
Oh, hey,
I'm
Alpha succeeded.
happy to know that there is a shortcut at least for you. Aw, wee!
Oh, this looks like pure
It was
hell.
like a slide. I guess you have to go all the way up and over, and
Yep.
then what, do it again?
Yep.
Oh, this is a bit of a nightmare. Well, I doubt going to the Steam page is going to spoil very much for it now, but I am a little curious to see what else they have to say for it. So I'm gonna go look at it. Is this one of the nights where we want to do readings of reviews of nudie games?
Sure, why not?
What possibly possessed you to suggest my best worst idea?
Shit! Damn it, mother...
That this is not the most graphically intense or story intense or character
Graphically,
intense.
or audio intense, or story
I mean,
intense,
the
or
soundtrack isn't terrible.
sexually intense.
We could make it so.
Sexually intense happens in 3
Kirk,
weeks.
I think you would look good in garters.
I
We're
haven't
all
seen his legs
thinking
in a
it.
while. I'm
I'm
not
gonna say
prepared
it.
to make that a promise.
Are garters the thing? The like thigh highs, and then you've got the like the suspenders, but they're pointing down.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Those are the
believe
garter, okay.
just refers to the little straps. The belt is called a garter belt.
Oh, I see.
And the stockings, I think, are just thigh-high stockings.
I see.
You can get the prompt soundtrack for free. Prompt is a hardcore platformer. It is minimalist, it is retro, and it is very, very hard. Everything from the visual style to the design of every level has been coded with love just for you. It
Just
came
for
out
me.
in 2015. It has 41 reviews, and it was developed and published by a single man's name, Peter Gutenko.
Thanks, Peter.
Indeed.
Coding it just for us. So you have a new job. Your remit is to make a nudie game out of just these art assets.
It has
do
a
you do?
full level editor. Create and share levels with your friends. I'm sure it's been done.
I now regret bringing it up because now we need to find the sexual level. I think you might have to. I think that might be a trap. Can you go? I guess not. It's not a trap.
Oh wow, sorry. I mean, I guess the only way to make it sexual is to use like the blocks to draw like a penis or something.
Yeah.
In the early days of the internet, someone wrote a program so that you could take a StarCraft 1 map
I thought that's what you were gonna say.
and you could import a JPEG to the. I guess I'm assuming it's. You could import a picture to this program, this application, and it would figure out the best way to use the StarCraft 1 map editor to make a mini map that would look like that JPEG. And the only thing it was ever used for was hentai. There was a strip Kerrigan version where there would be buildings that were on the map that you had to destroy, and as you destroyed them, you uncovered more of the mini map that was like covered by these like red splotches of like enemy contact. And I think you have to jump from the top block because that way you can only jump once to get to the key and then jump once to get back.
Yeah, that's probably exactly it.
And then someone remade it as a strip. What was her name? Bulma, I think it was, from Dragon Ball Z.
And that was
That would be typical.
that was the end of it.
I mean, that was. That was. Those were the only ones that I noticed in the use map setting map list.
There were so many great use map settings games for StarCraft. And a lot of really dumb ones that were still popular for some reason. Like I liked Nuke the Whale.
You like what?
It's a game called Nuke the Whale, where one player controls a single Zergling in like a small arena, and they have to run around while all of the other players have nukes. And they try to, and nukes like give you a few seconds of warning. They have like a little red dot to tell you that it's about to drop. So they're trying to nuke the Zergling while the Zergling's running around, trying to not get nuked. It's great.
The most impressive StarCraft map I ever saw was that.
Bullshit.
Just straight up chess. Because the
Whoa.
programming, the scripting language for StarCraft 1 maps was very primitive. And the fact that they were able to program in the logic of, if you have this unit, where is it legal for it to move? Well done.
Thank you.
Super impressed me. I spent a lot of time making custom maps, and I could not decipher the game logic for how they programmed chess into StarCraft. It was truly impressive.
So I am looking at the negative reviews for Honey Pop.
Oh boy.
Why would you so torture
and-
yourself?
A lot of them are jokes. Some of them are fairly good jokes, I won't lie. This is currently sorted by most helpful in the past 30 days. It's a negative review, and it just says women.
Okay, so they don't like women.
Well,
This one is a negative review. I'm gay.
I mean,
So that automatically
I mean,
means
so am I. I don't understand his fucking problem.
This, by the way, the I'm gay person has 49.8 hours on record.
I guess they had to really try, huh?
They did their best. This is a negative review. I accidentally deleted all my progress. I have nothing left to live for.
And wait, did you say that was a negative review?
Yes.
Okay, so somebody's a dumbass, which means the game is automatically just bad, right?
Yeah, so Steam has a reward or an option to mark a review as funny. So I think some people are going for comedy, obviously. Some negative review, no goth girl.
No goth girl.
that's a fair complaint.
But
That
there
is
was-
a fair complaint.
But there was a goth girl.
That is a fair complaint.
Hey, Alpha. Hey, Alpha.
Yeah.
How do you know there's a goth girl in Honey Pop?
Because I've played Honey Pop, thank you.
You played Honey Pop and you're admitting it live on stream?
Yeah.
Where, how, and why?
You can ask Chibi about that.
No! Chibi deserves better.
Chibi asked for it.
Wow. I do have to ask Chibi about this.
Yeah, ask Chibi about that time Alpha ran Honey Pop. And I didn't actually stream it, it was a private show, so...
That somehow makes it creepy. Or romantic. There's really no in between.
Pick your own fantasy, I guess.
Isn't Chibi like 17?
No,
That's
that's
Solar.
Solar.
And Solar's-
Okay.
And they must be like 19 by now.
20, I believe. Definitely beyond 18.
This is a negative review. I like this product.
Are you some kind of high?
They may have misclicked. A negative review. I feel like a disappointment.
You feel like a disappointment, and you're
Yeah, I'm wondering if they meant that.
probably
You
not.
know, most of these negative reviews are just mean, right?
Probably not, but it's called fucking proofreading.
Okay, this must have been hacked or edited somehow. Because this person is a positive review. It says, I think I got my money's worth. And it has 7,984.7 hours on record.
You
Your
think?
brother does this sometimes. I believe he has something like 5,000 hours in both Payday 2 and Elder Scrolls Online, because those games are games that he doesn't want to download the updates for when he wants to play, because they can be big updates. So he'll just leave it running so that he can either get the update or just play.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the cheap
I
way
don't
to
know
do
if
it.
Honey Pop has that.
No,
Well, I
someone
mean-
just booted it up and left it running
Bullshit.
for
I don't buy that one.
This is a positive review. I miss my wife.
I miss their wife too.
Oh!
A positive review. I do not wish to be horny anymore. I just want to be happy.
God damn it.
That's a meme line. Somebody said that in earnest on Pornhub in the comments of a video, and it led to like a legendary back and forth between a bunch of like no-fap people who were on Pornhub.
Huh. A positive review. I always felt like there was something missing in Bejeweled. Honey Pop told me it was naked women. I don't disagree. Positive review. Only 5.3 hours on record. I am no longer on speaking terms with my family.
So this is your way of coping with that, huh?
I don't know if it happened before or after. It's a good question.
This is me being facetious. I'm very certain it was after.
A positive review. You can hide this game of your library by right-clicking and selecting set categories.
But you can do that with any game. What makes Honey Pop special?
That you would want it and didn't need it until now.
Well, I mean, if you're ashamed of it.
A positive review. All these Hollywood sex perverts need to learn how to just jack it to cartoons like us normal people. Can we see the rest of this? Is this...
It's that one up there that I cannot seem to get.
A positive review. What I learned. Cats sleep a lot. Our Earth is pretty old. Buying a bong for a drug addict is romantic. Giving fairly racist items to the appropriate race is sexy. Asking for a person's cup size makes them attracted to you. Fairies are real. Oranges cost $600.
I had some questions, but they all got obliterated by the giving people racist items is sexy. That one just tore a hole in my brain and everything poured out.
Let's be honest, you had nothing in there to tear out to begin with.
I
Wow.
have questions.
Okay, I did not need that little lag blip right there.
Somebody recreated the frame of the comic of the man entering the door and asking, "Are you winning, son?" in their comment.
Wow. Depends on your definition, I guess. Okay, I'll take up down on how many deaths this has been so far, on this fucking level alone.
I don't know if we'll get to know that.
Yeah, I'm sure we won't.
I really don't like stuff breaking for me.
Oh wow, this person has written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I will be right back.
7 paragraphs and some bullet points. And they only played 33 hours at the time of review.
Really, that's it?
Yeah. It's not even that funny, it's just 7 like serious paragraphs about gameplay.
So, if I write a review, do I mark it as funny, or do other people mark it as funny?
Other people do.
I see.
So I don't understand if this, like, hurts. If it hurts the, like, actual game.
Damn it, mother...
If people make a bad review with the intention of being funny.
Oh, interesting.
Problem is, I keep fucking regressing back to the first fucking one that I can't get past. Come on. I have never had this much trouble with a platformer before. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Steam described this game as very easy.
Honey Pop or
I'm pretty sure that contradicts what's been said so far.
They also, for some reviews for Prompt, say that some of the jumps have to be pixel perfect, and that the controls don't necessarily support that.
Well, the problem is A, lag, and B, the speed of falls like that one. Bullshit. Don't buy that one.
You're back.
United States.
Well, I had to reboot my computer again for the third fucking time today.
What's wrong with your computer?
Well, the first couple times it was just programs just decided to stop working. And then, stop working as in you could shut them down, try to restart them and they still wouldn't work. And it happened mid-fucking stream once, which was annoying, and now I'm trying to figure out why the program I use to run my avatar isn't wanting to accept all the controller inputs anymore.
That is alarming.
Like everything else where it works, it's just not this, and I can't figure out how to make it cooperate.
Ah, finally.
Congratulations.
Wow, this game is $60, and all it is
Bejeweled.
Bejeweled plus tip.
no, this is a different one. It's a character creator for a waifu, and then you get to have sex with it, I think.
How robust is the character creator and how robust is the sex?
The character creator is incredibly robust.
2D art or 3D art?
2D. But they are working on VR. And boy, watching them... You know how normally when you demo VR, you get to see the person doing it while they're doing it? I'm really not enjoying watching this. Oh, I wish I hadn't seen a lot of that. That was really not good.
Wait, why they do?
It was a series of people, men, holding HTC Vive controllers and rubbing different parts of hentai women.
Oh.
And I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't like hearing about it.
This game is called Being a Dick, Season 1.
If we're being realistic about it, the human species wouldn't propagate if not for men rubbing hentai women.
Oh my god.
Did we need to propagate though?
Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm done with the species.
Still using it for some things. It's interesting how the sparks will bounce between the two blades.
Oh yeah.
Or I guess they're like
cool.
alpha chunks.
neat.
Did you say
I
alpha
guess
chunks?
it has like full particle effects.
Notice that. That's awesome. Just keep on dying. That's cool.
Thanks.
I don't know, it could be reverse psychology.
Ah!
Ooh. We're all just gonna let that one go without comment.
I get like a little bit of delay sometimes. Sometimes I'm like a little behind or I miss them.
That would be
But
great if that worked. Sorry, Kurt. I didn't mean to. I mean, I did mean to interrupt you, but
No, it's okay. I'm mesmerized watching you, Alpha.
Why, thank you.
So interruptions are only natural. Because it's the only thing I'm thinking about.
Where the fuck is this discussion going?
Oh, Kirk wants to have sex with me, isn't it obvious?
Oh.
That's where I'm trying to be a little coy.
what the hell? I'm earnestly not sure what the solution. Oh, okay. You gotta do it at the apex.
Oh, that's
Man,
nice.
you've got to be perfect, and then you've got to stop at exactly the right time, otherwise you're gonna hit that rightmost spike.
Yep.
Yarp.
Yarp.
Yoy.
No.
Man, that. Okay, so. Oh, man.
Good news, I may have actually fixed the issue.
Oh, that's exciting.
Hey!
It required me to have foresight months ago to fucking, make a saved copy of my settings for the program and then load it today in order to fix everything, but
Backups are best.
speaking of which, I'm just going to go ahead and make another one now.
This has... I don't think that's true.
What?
Are you familiar with the Atelier series of games?
Yes.
I don't think this one should be under nudity, sexual content, and mature.
Send me a link so I can verify.
It's Atelier
send
Ryzen
it-
2?
Send it to Marie. She will know for sure.
It's not really advertised as such.
Send me a link to the Steam store page.
I might be able to do that. Share. Embed? I don't know how to get it, the store page link from the store.
Well, I was wanting to see if the store page wasn't just like some spoof or something.
Just right click anywhere and then hit copy page URL.
Thank you. I'll drop it in Whisper Squad. I feel like it was an incorrect tag.
I can confirm it is rated T for team.
It's apparently not even considered one of the best Atelier games.
I mean, there's some serious thighs in that game, but
Yeah,
I
they're
don't think
getting
it
thicker and
qualifies.
thicker.
6 thighs save lives.
Yeah, I don't want to hear no fucking complaints about it.
Got it.
Nice.
Sorry, I was distracted by anime
Ah.
thighs. Getting to the key is not hard. Well, getting to the key is hard, but escaping with the key looks like it's the challenge. You should be able to jump up. Oh!
Well,
I don't think that's the correct way to do it, but I think if you fall down, if you jump all the way to the left,
It's
and then
too
you
short.
fall past the entrance and you do a double jump up, it's literally too short.
what you're thinking is too short. I think.
Okay, so you wouldn't even be
Or
able to
it's-
walk out of there.
Actually, you know what? Or it's single pixel.
So anxiety provoking. Mad skill!
481 deaths in almost half a fucking hour.
I want to know how many people have achieved the mad skill achievement.
Alright, there should be 3 keys left. Here we go. Nope. Damn. That's gonna be tough. The rest of this is nothing.
Nothing, he says.
What is the name of this game?
Prompt.
Prompt.
It literally said so earlier, dude.
Yeah, but I forgot.
Come on, don't start regressing now.
Is he a sentient hamster?
Who, this?
No. Silver.
Goldfish, actually. Apparently there are 30 people total, according to astats.astats.nl, who have gotten mad skills.
So, when?
Mm-hmm.
So, when I first started the Roller Stream, you had a reaction to Tanya. Was that a good or negative reaction? I've been trying to figure that out.
Oh, I didn't like the unit acknowledgements. I found them
Oh,
very
because they're
hard to
very
listen to.
loud.
And I will say that actress either has some banging abs or a pretty talented makeup artist helped draw some pretty banging abs on her.
I choose to believe that they are banging abs.
I think they're legit.
I mean, I want it to be true.
Here's the thing. here's the important thing you should know. As far as I know, except for Railroad 3, the actress for Tanya in all the Railroad games was a porn actor.
Oh, well, that's not ultimately very surprising.
I don't think she was a porn actor. I think she was a lingerie model.
I think the one in the second was a porn actress.
Red alert to Tanya, actress. Kari Werher. I don't know how to pronounce that name. W-U-A.
Yes, go on with the rest of that spelling.
Well, we've lost him, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he's gone. He fell in.
Anyway, we don't talk about Railroad 3-1 because she's played by Jenny McCarthy.
I don't know who that is.
Good
Oh,
enough.
that Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
The anti-vaxxer?
Yeah.
Wow.
What did you say it like that for?
I'm just surprised to find her in a video game.
Railroad 3 is full of fucking high-end actors because EA thought that they could make up for a bad story with
Talent.
talent. Because that's a game where the only place to escape capitalism, space, gets us.
Spice!
Yeah.
Damn it!
But, yeah, I will agree that the voices are really loud in the first game, but there is one moment, if you go back and watch the VODs, where it kind of kicks in as important. Like, she disappears from the missions for a while, because there's the whole cutscene where she got tortured by the, creepy Soviet guy.
Right.
And then, you're in a mission where you have limited number of units, it grinds you the fuck down, you think shit sucks, and then you hear that loud cha-ching, and she just busts in through the wall, and you're like, oh fuck, finally!
That is probably a very satisfying moment.
Yeah. Because it's a mission full of enemy infantry, and minigunners are not remotely as effective as killing them as Tanya is.
Oh, yeah. So she rescues you.
Basically, yes. Well, and that in the world, because it's a mission where you gotta stop 4 nukes before they impact the ground.
Death by overshoot is the most annoying by far.
Yeah, I hate that moment.
So basically, she saved London, Paris, and a bunch of other places.
How do they suggest that you stop a nuclear weapon before it hits the ground?
You disarm the bomb so that when it hits the ground, it just hits the ground.
Speaking
You
of
can do
disarming,
that remotely?
Yeah.
speaking of disarming bombs, you know what I haven't done in a while? Keep talking.
Oh yeah, what a good game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I started it with Silver, and then we never got back to it.
Well, I mean, you kind of... Once you lay out your... what's the word? Your treatment plan and why it's useful. And also, isn't it procedurally generated, or is it kind of the same every time?
Wait, are you talking about keep talking and nobody explodes?
Yes.
The puzzles, it gives you a random. Like, they give you the same number and generalized difficulty each time, but the puzzle types are random. And
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's... To show off the game, you definitely don't need to beat it.
Well, no, I mean, I showed it off alright, but I had every intention of beating it. And I still do have every intention of beating it, I just need the right partner.
I don't know, I feel like if you've gotten through every kind of puzzle at least once,
I
kind of beaten it.
am not sure we have. Matter of fact, no, we never got to the advanced, time-sensitive ones. As I recall, somebody other than me thought it was too stressful to do for a long period of time.
Is that me? That sounds like something I would say.
No, I'm talking about Silver.
Well, that's his prerogative. He's not having fun.
It is his prerogative, I agree. I'm just
I
saying.
think I've heard that from most people who play the game.
I'm just saying that the fact that I have not yet beaten that game is by no fault of my own. I mean, I could sit here and solo it, but that's kind of cheating.
The soundtrack is really starting to grow on me.
Hmm.
It's not like I disliked it, but I'm starting to find more charm.
And internally, I'm just getting madder and madder at myself here.
Silver has just messaged Discord that he has suffered a microphone failure and will be silent for the rest of the stream.
That's unfortunate.
It is. His mic didn't sound stellar to begin with, but at least it sounded.
The problem with this level is I absolutely have to have the shift key down or I'm not going to get through any piece of it.
And it's causing you to overshoot a lot because you're shifting.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh!
Yeah!
That was too close. Oh, what the fuck is this?
So, the other day I found gluten-free cookie dough at the store. And like those sheets you buy that's like pre-shaped. And apparently whatever process that makes it gluten-free also makes it safe to eat raw, so I'm like, well, why would I fucking cook it then?
There are a couple raw cookie dough products that I enjoy a lot. Ben & Jerry's does raw cookie dough. They also have, I believe, vegan raw cookie dough.
These things I think are also vegan just by the process of where they're made.
And the Toll House, and this is my personal favorite, sells it by the pint. Like ice cream.
Whoa.
Yeah, and you just eat it with a spoon. And unfortunately, these are not cheap options. The pints are like $6 or $7. But boy, are they good.
It better be.
It is a little known fact that it is not the raw eggs that make raw cookie dough dangerous, but the uncooked flour.
Interesting.
God damn it.
Silver has remembered that we have a chat bot. And by
I've-
remembered, I mean the Admiral forcibly reminded him. I have not confirmed this.
Well, I'll say the flour is fucking dangerous to me.
For I've the bag of flour that I have says like please cook before eating, and I always thought like, okay, but how important is that? So how important, or like what's in raw flour?
Wow, yeah, he's absolutely right.
This is gonna be interesting, alright.
Any raw, uncooked flour, according to the CDC,
Ah!
it has not been treated to kill things such as E. coli. Grinding grain and bleaching flour do not kill germs. Bacteria are only killed when it's cooked. There are 2 recent outbreaks of E. coli, 2016 and 2019, were linked to raw flour.
God, mother, damn it.
I guess
Most-
why is it different from?
I
like,
believe the ants.
ants.
He got cut off. He believes the answer is cow poop fertilizer.
Well, good to know that the bots are
Wow,
working.
so you're saying that flour is double matted.
Well, good to know that the bots are working at full capacity tonight. Great job.
Wait, does that mean that flour isn't vegan?
Apparently not.
intrinsically it is. The way it's farmed is not, I guess.
Right.
This
But
is
that probably
unfortunately,
That's a fascinating question, though.
this
Yeah,
is kind of flipped into no ethical consumption or capitalism kind of stuff.
Yeah. You have to decide where you want to draw your line. I know some breeds of vegans don't drink beer.
What's in beer?
Yeast?
Some people.
I'm not entirely sure that that's why they don't do it.
Some-
But that's the only thing I can think of, is that yeast is a living thing.
Well, I know some people draw lines with
It's a fungus!
Yeast isn't an animal, right?
Oh, god damn it! Come on!
It's microbes!
Wait. Yeah. Why are they okay? Like, but what about broccoli?
Well, while we're
On
talking,
that basis, they can't
Is
eat
yeast
anything.
vegan?
well, while we're talking about it, I know some people draw lines with a mysterious white substance.
Yeast is 100% in the fungus kingdom.
There's fungus among us.
Yes. But
I do not think
there's
that
a-
can be done.
like a vegan website says all this, that it is, you know, just it is just a fungus. But they acknowledge that veganism is really more a series of choices than it is a series of rules. Because, you know, as they point out, everything from cars, cell phones, and building components contain materials that are derived from animals. It really isn't possible to be 100%
Come on.
vegan.
Gotta get this. Here we go! Yeah!
Eh.
Only 4
Most
levels left.
woodwind instruments are not vegan. Almost no classically made string instruments are vegan. Brass instruments tend to be vegan.
Wow, that was merciful.
I mean, I suppose my choice is to just completely scour plants of life is also not very vegan.
I believe it is kind of the farthest thing you could get. Now, if you can limit it to human life, then I'm totally behind you. As I am personally
Neutron
very
bombs
for
applied to cities.
the extinction of the human race.
You say you're for the extinction?
Yeah, I think it's unethical to have children.
Unethical.
Yeah, I think it's nearly indefensible. But I'm aware that that's a very unpopular opinion, and one that is so personal that it is useless to like actually advocate for and argue it. So I still hold that opinion, and I'm filled with a vague sense of disappointment every time someone I know announces that they are having children.
I'm actually kind of there with her on this one.
I am curious your basis for this opinion. There are many good reasons, and I will probably agree with them, but I am very curious.
It's a little bit of the, like, you know, how can you bring a child into a world that's so messed up that everybody feels in every era? It's a healthy chunk of evidence of climate change, and knowing that all of it has been caused by humanity in one form or another. It's a little bit asking people who are anti-abortion to put their money where their mouth is when it comes to adoption and overhaul of the foster care system. And it's a little bit sort of the divorcing from anthropocentrism of believing that humanity is somehow superior to any other forms of life on this planet. and it's sort of taking veganism to the whatever is past the nth degree, to its illogical conclusion.
Point of no return,
That the
I
best
believe that's
thing we
called.
can do for other species on this planet is to eliminate ourselves. So I don't necessarily think it has to be violent. And I don't necessarily think it has to be immediate, although I kind of, what with the climate crisis, am beginning to think that maybe the
Oh
sooner
my
the better.
God, what is this?
But I would be 0% upset if we eventually turned around the rate of population growth to eventually die out as a species. I personally have no desire to reproduce, nor have I ever. And obviously that choice is made a lot easier for me because of the sexual orientation that I have. But I kind of wish that everybody else would do it too, because I think I have yet to meet anybody who I feel so strongly about that they need to reproduce that I would excuse them from the idea that we as a species should stop.
Well, I mean, do I need to go into the laundry list of these reasons why I should never reproduce?
No, because we all have them for ourselves.
Well, that too.
I think it's interesting that, like, I mean, people want to reproduce, and that's like built into us. Like we've survived as a species because there's like something built into our brains that makes people like want to have children. But we're at the point where like we're out of room, and that urge is still there for people. I don't personally don't have that urge, but I know that it's a thing that other people have. But it's like no longer valuable.
Yeah.
Here's the
We've
thing.
been too successful as a species.
Here's the thing. Mine's more just like an economical thing. It's like, I know I couldn't fucking afford it, and like even good jobs now can barely let you fucking afford it. And so like, why would you do it?
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that children are becoming more and more a luxury item.
And if you could afford it, that means you've got a job that you had to be a sociopath to get.
To put a pin in this for just a second, Silver had a message. For whatever reason, the chatbot did not read it. Or it's going to read it in like 45 seconds because of delay.
Because the chatbot, it's shit, it seems.
It's not as bad as the old one, but it's still not perfect.
Maybe it's got a network system that's getting stormed on or something like I do.
He, I believe in response to my personal philosophy, said, "Your nihilism is really selling this stream." So anyway, cask beers are cloudy, and sometimes the collagen from fish bladders is used to clarify them. So that makes some beers not vegan.
Huh.
The annoying part
I
of this
was
is I
once
can't even
having
like
a,
half jump or something.
An abortion rights discussion with someone I had gone to school with. And I confessed my feeling of that I don't think not only should people have access to safe and legal abortions, that I don't think anyone should have children ever. Just like, it's obvious that the left doesn't care about reproductive rights, and they are starting to think that people shouldn't have children at all. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Do not equate me with the left. There are almost nobody feels the way that I feel. Like, yes, I happen to be liberal, but I'm also a complete and total whack job when it comes to this. Don't get the wrong idea.
I'll take it one step further. Have you heard? I think it's Jonathan Swift. I think it's called an indecent proposal.
You heard it here, folks. Wit is a whack job.
Oh, the indecent proposal, yeah.
Yeah, the idea that we should eat babies.
A modest proposal. Indecent proposal is a movie.
You're right.
where somebody offers Demi Moore and her husband, some other guy, $1 million if you can sleep with Demi Moore.
Believe you're
Bot
referring.
test.
Believe you're referring to Ashton Kutcher.
No.
Bot test.
I like hearing the bots say different
Okay,
accents.
I had to hard reset the bot.
It should be working better now.
I don't know why I just now remember to do that. Maybe subconsciously I just wanted him to suffer for a minute.
You wanted to silence him because he makes you so angry every time he opens his mouth. You may yet regret resetting the bot. Can
No.
you, like,
Here's
unreset
the
it?
thing, I need them to hear
This
the shit he
concludes the
says.
best test. If this was an actual bot emergency, you would have been killed by a smart refrigerator in the robot uprising.
So, what the fuck do we as a species do if Wit is the resistance
Shit.
leader in the future?
Come on, I'm right there.
I think my philosophy might change based on circumstances. I think a lot of this feeling is reactionary to what I feel the environment around me is. And if that environment changes drastically, I would be curious to see if my opinion on this matter would change.
Was that a Terminator sent back in time to protect her?
It honestly might not, depending on the circumstances against which I am resisting. If I believe that like for example, the robots, that's our fault. And we had our run, and this is actually probably a pretty good natural end cap on the species. Unless the robots were also going after non-human life, and then I think I might feel differently.
That was kind of the problem in Terminator, is that they nuked the planet, and then we're like pumping
Now,
pollutants into the atmosphere.
I think there's real good arguments for a large groups to have a small groups of children and spend even more time and resources raising them well.
Oh.
to change the dynamic of the family, of what a family could be.
The nuclear family has melted down.
Eh,
I did read an article about two platonic female friends who've decided to co-parent because one woman...
that sounds adorable.
Yeah, one woman had a son who was struggling with autism, and she was, you know, having difficulty keeping up with some of the adaptive care that he needed. And her best friend, you know, was super fond of this kid and, you know, spent a lot of time helping her friend take care of him, and they kind of decided, like, why don't we both just be legal guardians of this boy that we both adore? We're not particularly interested in romance right now, and we're definitely not interested in it with each other, but having two parents is super helpful.
Sure, that's their excuse. I'll get that out of the way.
I know. As a woman who likes women, all I can see is the adorable fanfic that this would turn into. But I am forced to contend with the fact that there are women who like men, and who in fact do not like women, which is a struggle that I have to, a prejudice that I have to overcome, and I'm working on it. But I really support that idea.
Because I mean, there are no men out there who have any redeeming qualities whatsoever.
I know that's a reductive and joking position, but like, boy, I kind of feel that way sometimes. And what's absolutely wild is that my father is great.
Oh my god, I just got an achievement called Give Up.
Oh boy.
To which I say, I refuse.
Yeah, you've got about 25 more minutes.
I have 25 minutes to get through 2 fucking levels. Just 2 motherfucking levels.
Anyway, I had a like fantastic male role model who like really healthily demonstrated to me like healthy parental and healthy
Yeah,
heterosexual
you gave me an example of how
relationships.
good they could be, and then you've got like a billion examples of how bad they could be.
Maybe that's it, is that I could never, not never, but do not see
What just happened?
that reflected in relationships around me terribly often.
Guys?
What?
Tells me AlphaStarDX has
I
minimized
just
their
think you're not attracted romantically to men.
Oh, there we go.
No, that can't be it.
application.
It kicked me off like it windowed me for whatever reason.
Huh. Is it sticky keys?
No, I have them disabled. If it is sticky keys, then my computer is doing something against orders. That's all I need.
To backtrack, the achievement is died 256 times on a single level.
256. An interesting choice. I mean, it's a cute choice. I think it's based on the binary number. But why not 128 or any of the other computer numbers?
I'm surprised it's not 1024. Go the
Yeah,
whole fucking
I
kilobyte.
bet that's in there too, though.
I don't know, and I don't particularly wish to find out. Matter of fact, I didn't exactly want to find out about the 256.
No, I'm sure nobody goes into it hoping that.
2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2.
Yes. I'm aware that it's a square. Why is that number of squares that important?
I think I heard 7 2s, and I believe you need 8.
When I posted some somewhere, you might want to go read it an hour later.
I did, yes. I did see that. I may wait.
And I know that because 4 times 256 is that
I'll
1024.
read it before I go to bed.
Yes, ma'am.
And that 1024
I'm
is 2 to
impressed
the
you
10.
missed that.
Who missed what?
A jump or a math thing?
I missed absolutely nothing. If anything, I caught it.
Sorry, I'm impressed you caught that.
Thank you.
He has a walkthrough open on math.
A walkthrough on math?
This is harkening back to Silver's suspicion. I can't even remember what game it was. That you had a walkthrough open, and not that you were just so focused and in tune with video game design.
How many
that
times
you
do I gotta
couldn't just
prove to
intuit.
everybody? How many times do I gotta demonstrate I don't use walkthroughs? Or
I
better
catch myself
question,
wondering it every once in a while.
or better question, how can I prove once and for all that I don't use walkthroughs?
Unfortunately, you can't because it's a negative.
Yeah.
Unless you were always sharing your screen at all times. And even then, I would wonder about cell phones. So I don't think you can ever prove it.
The only way you would prove it is that one of us would have to be physically there one time when you're doing stuff.
And that'll literally never happen.
Yep. Well, I guess everybody's just gonna have to trust me.
I'm not
Well,
afraid of
I do
that.
have that one friend with the airplane. I could just parachute into his window one Thursday.
I wouldn't mind the
I
company,
can't
actually.
believe that would be the thing that would get you to visit us.
What, just to
I
prove
would be
that...
a little hurt if that's what finally gets you to come to the correct side of the Civil War.
What, just to prove that Alpha is pure and actually knows what the fuck he's doing?
Yes.
Here's the thing you don't understand, is that the most powerful motivator for me is spite.
I mean, I feel that. It's one
I
of mine,
can work
too.
with that because that is I think the second or third most powerful motivator in Kuro's life.
God
Don't
damn
do,
it.
While I'm not
don't do
perfect
something
at
to make me
harnessing it.
spite you. You're be messing with powers you don't understand there.
I understand them a little. I also know that I don't like them, and that it's almost never worth it.
Okay, so you do understand a lot.
I mean, I have not gone through life entirely without the use of spite, so...
What did she say?
She heard me talking about her, and she wanted to know. She's willing to say that it is the second most powerful motivator in her life.
What's the first?
Do you have an idea of what the first might be?
Zelda.
I don't think it is. Because there will be times when... Of like
I didn't
just...
hear what she said.
Now we're having a discussion about what a motivator actually is. It depends on your mood. It is definitely up there, but I'm not prepared as an outside observer to say that that is the only thing that makes you tick.
Although I dare say you're about as inside an observer as one could possibly get.
Nyak, 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 nyak.
And if
I
anybody
keep
would
my
like
eyes
to...
closed, thank you very much, like
And
a
if
lady.
anybody would like to know what I mean by inside, tune into the late night version later tonight.
The what?
The late night version of this stream. At which
You're
I
gonna
will...
keep playing this?
Oh no, I'm gonna take this video, dub it over with my own voice, and insert the dirty stuff.
I've been assaulted.
God damn it.
How dare you do the things that I don't feel comfortable narrating? Get away from me.
Is that what you... Never mind. That's
No,
for
she
the...
can come over here though.
Oh!
One day she's gonna break these headphones.
Why did you get tangled up in them?
Shenanigans. Not tangled specifically, but along those lines.
You know, this is a very accurate word for what I'm doing right now.
Shenanigans or tangled?
No, masochism. The title up there.
Ah. Well named.
Oh, come on, for the love of fucking...
Pixel perfect.
I do love it.
Yeah, bet you do.
And your brother thought you would like this? Is this giving you pleasure?
He
Is that a
saw...
question you want to ask?
He
I
saw...
don't want to ask it in that way.
He saw quite literally that it looks like a DOS game, and knowing how much I enjoy DOS games, thought this would be good for me. And I can't say I blame him
for.
for...
Of profiling then.
Oh, Alpha loves profiling.
Oh, Admiral. Has anybody told you the story of Obra Dinn? If you want a story of profiling.
Don't. That man will never forgive you for that.
I don't give a damn what that man thinks, and I
know
never
you
did.
didn't like him.
I did
because
not like
he didn't
him.
like the way you played the game.
Well, he can,
Alright,
well, he can go
on.
fuck himself and stream it himself if you don't like it. But
we
anyway.
it's a game called The Return of the Obra Dinn.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, and the gameplay is filling in blanks, filling in like missing what happened here's, and a lot of it is identifying people based on sometimes some fairly flimsy clues, but you kind of don't know exactly when. That's as much as you're gonna get about a person, and you have to make a guess, or there's gonna be more revealed later on. And Alpha started falling back more and more on the... Well, his his last name is French, and this guy is wearing a striped shirt. I bet he's French. And like kind of bullshit stuff like that, and then starting to devolve even more into like this guy has several tattoos. I bet he's the Maori guy. And the problem is that's a little reductive and racist, but the real problem is that every single time he was correct.
He was right. I remember hearing that.
Yes. And most of the time, we would get more information a little later on. And we had a rando in that chat who was watching us stream it, and he would get angrier and angrier every time. Like he would like Alpha would like skip and say like, guess that it's this guy, guess that it's this guy, and say like, you guys aren't playing it right. You're gonna get that information later. You don't have to do this.
We'll talk about backseat streaming.
And there's exactly one reason I did not outright tell him to blow me, and that's the fact that it was not on my channel. That is the only reason I didn't tell him off.
Alpha felt very antagonistic towards this guy, whereas I am a little bit more sympathetic because I also didn't like the way Alpha was playing the game. And I hate that he was right every time, but it only reinforced all of the stereotypes that he decided to see if they were a part of the game, and they all were.
And this is the thing I tell everybody. Why do I say the things I say? Because they're the fucking goddamn truth. How are you going to contest that when I am right every time?
I would argue that you're not right every time. You were right in Return of the Obra Dinn.
Okay, fair.
Because you've said some fairly racist things. I mean, we all have at various points in our lives. So you're not universally correct.
Yeah.
But yes, you were right
Yeah,
every
no.
time in Obra Dinn, and it drives me bananas.
This is the one that I
I
have
feel like streaming this point, however, is important just to show how reductive the game can be.
You don't want me. You don't want me as your partner, then.
A lot of it was good. A lot of you could see that the guy in the picture had a satchel, and you saw around one of the bunks there was the satchel, and so you were pretty sure it was that guy.
Well, I mean, to be fair, most guys do have satchels.
Oh, a joke. I see what you're doing. It wasn't all like, and a lot of almost the stereotypes were almost never the only clue you would get. So I'm not, but that's a good point. I would understand it coming up once or twice. Like the Maori guy having tattoos didn't actually bug me that much. I didn't love that there weren't a ton of other clues about his identity other than he was pictured having tattoos. The striped shirt thing, I think, was just insane, because it's meaningless. He just happened to be right. Silver, is this from, like, Reductress or something?
By the way, next week, are we going back to the sinking ship?
What a good question. I think I could. I know Silver was really invested in trying if they would ever confess who was going around killing people.
It was from back in the conversation when we were talking about your sexuality, Ahri men.
No, I know that. I mean, like, what was the source of the meme you posted? Or the pretend article that you posted? it reads to me like a reductress headline.
Let's reduce.
Rissa's Lesbians posted it as a meme a while back.
I don't know what that means. But okay. Oh, is that in the game night chat or something?
This is it? Wait, you beat the game?
There are 2 keys that I didn't get. And you know what?
I mean, the reviews did say about an hour and a half without getting all the keys.
Well, an hour 45 missing 2.
Damn
That's
impressive.
not
You know what? That's enough.
He has given up.
bad. He didn't give up. He made it to the end, which is very impressive. I think I would have given up probably an hour and 38 minutes ago.
What are all these other... I quit.
What? Why?
Number 1, we're running out of time. Number 2, I'm not that good. And number 3, I don't feel like hunting hidden achievements.
Oh, there's a lot more achievements on the Steam
Yeah,
page.
5 of them are hidden.
Oh, gross. No thanks.
Yeah, we've done enough here, I think.
You've done enough. I've done nothing.
Well, I mean, you've added
I'm-
to it by reading out sexy reviews and or funny
I looked
reviews.
for more ones that were funny, but they were either too serious or people trying to be funny.
That part is funny in of itself as the serious reviews.
What
Yeah.
does the I'm gay review classify as?
I thought it was a little silly.
It classifies as gay.
It didn't offend me. Even if the person wasn't gay, it actually didn't offend me because I didn't think that it was at all suggesting that being gay was itself a bad thing.
Mm.
It's that like the irony of like,
Maybe they were a woman.
then I feel like they wouldn't have put it under negative, but it's also true.
Maybe they put it under negative so it'd be seen, or just for the memes.
There were 25,000 total reviews, and most of them were positive, so perhaps it is easier to get noticed in the negatives just because there are fewer of them.
Mm.
That ASCII art of the Are You Winnin' Son comic is actually quite a popular review when it comes to nudity games. The joke being that your dad walks in on you and asks if you are good at porn games.
I mean, I like nudity.
I'm also, in general, a fan, I think.
Alright, so what's the bottom line on next week?
I would be willing to pick it up again, see if we can get some more choices.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't think we'll finish it.
we've gone through well over half of the visible grid. All we have to do is pop over where we can start reaching new stuff like we did before.
I wonder how my 80-year-old father would feel about people who are primarily attracted to cartoons.
Are you not
A
one of
good
them?
and difficult question.
Are you not one of them, Silver?
He's been fortunate enough to have interactions with real women.
Oh, like real life honeypot?
Yeah, but he's simping me the moment that it becomes available for him to do so.
Alright, that
anyone have any objections to revisiting?
Oh, no, I meant to talk about that. I got wrapped up reading something. I'm fine with continuing. I'm kind of curious to see what the actual ending is and not the horrible death ending.
I want to show off a little bit more.
But if it's killing you inside, then don't
No,
do
I
it,
can
but-
definitely do another.
I agree 100% with the Admiral.
The only objection I have is the fact that everybody hates the narrator. Other than that, I'm good to go on.
Oh, as long as we don't use the narrator, nobody has to be mad about it.
Except me. But that's
Yep, just
okay.
you.
Well, with that, I'm going to give everybody 5 minutes of their lives back. For Wit and Kirk and the Admiral and that other doofus using a bot, I'm Alpha. And in turn, I guess, Peg. Who would you like to peg?
A small rectangle?
You want to peg?
Me, I'm lonely.
You want to peg
Aw.
you? Okay.
I guess we are pegging the Admiral.
Well, we'll send the
She's
orgy to
presenting.
Admiral's realm and be done with that. And and at this orgy, winners may or may not be dildos, depending on. Wait, winners, beggars? Oh,
Beggars.
Oh,
Beggars can't be dildos.
fuck it. Good night, stupid.